I'm Madison Barr, here to talk to you about volleyball and some of the recruiting tips that I have for you. This is going to be the digging up of the ins and outs of volleyball. So I began playing volleyball when I was about 10, so I've had about 10 years of experience with club, middle school, high school ball, and now college level. I played 5 years of club for Texas Advantage, which is the #1 club in Texas, and I was also on the USA North Texas High Performance team, and I played at Eastern Illinois University before transferring here. So first we're going to go through the volleyball equipment, which you'll see more of whenever we walk out onto the court and you can see all the equipment out there. But the basic things you're just going to focus on are the ball and the net, which is really all that you need to play volleyball. I'm going to show you some of the equipment that we use, like our knee pads and our active ankles. And the court dimensions are just 30 feet by 30 feet, so it's really basic, really simple. Next, we're going to go through a little bit of volleyball form, and there are some key things that I want you to remember whenever you're going through this. So, whenever you came in, you should have picked up these handouts from the front, and it's going to give you a key point sheet, and you can just take notes on the key things that I want you to remember. So first off, we're going to do passing, and what I want you to remember whenever you're passing the ball is your platform, wrists, and hands. You just want to keep it straight and simple. You can keep it inside of your body, or you can keep it on the outside, but it's all about your angles that you make with the ball. The second thing is digging, and you just want to be stopped in a neutral, balanced position so that way you can read the ball from any direction that it's coming from. Setting, I want you to remember window. And it's like you're picking up a 2-liter bottle of Coke and you're just going to set it on your head like you're looking through a window. For hitting, I want you to remember bow and arrow. So you're going to bring your elbow back and it's like you're shooting a bow and arrow. And the last thing, or serving, you're going to focus on elbow over ear. You're going to lift, step, and hit the ball. So just make sure that you're stepping through. And the last thing is your blocking, which is footwork, and you're just going to have moose ears. You're going to keep them up when you're sliding along the net. And most of you guys in here, I know you know the volleyball form, but if you're going to be teaching, or these are just key things that you want to remember when you're doing these specific skills. The next thing I'm going to go through are the volleyball rotations. So I don't know if you guys are all familiar with the rules, but I'm going to go over what you can and can't do and what's going to get you called. So there's a strategy in each rotation. And the thing that you want to remember is that you can't cross the people in front of you and you can't cross the people beside you. So if I'm in rotation 6, I'm not going to be able to go in front of player 3, but I can go in front of players 2 and 4. And I can't go to the right of 1 or to the left of 5, but I can go to the left or right of anybody down here. Same with anybody in position 5. They're not going to be able to go to the right of 6 and not in front of 4. But they can go in front of, to the side of anyone else, just as long as it's not these 2 players. So normally whenever you line up, you're going to have the setter and right back, which is rotation 1. And wherever the setter is, that's what rotation you're going to be in. So if you can go to your rotation sheet that you picked up, I just want you to fill this out. So when coaches are filling out something to turn it before their game, they're going to write their lineup in and turn it into the ref so they can keep the rotation straight throughout the game. So your setter is normally going to start in rotation 1. This is rotation 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and around the clock. So if you guys can just fill that in on your sheet, you'll be able to remember that. And rotation 1, so this is going to be your setter. Now your L1 always follows the setter. So that's going to be your L1 or your primary outside hitter. Your middle blocker is going to lead the setter, your M1. And you can see that they're 1 position away from the setter, so that's an easy way to remember it. Your opposite is always going to be across from the setter. So this is your right side, a key blocker, somebody that's going to be able to handle the front row while your setter's in the back. And then opposite of your middle blocker, your M1 is going to be your M2, and opposite of your L1 is going to be your L2. So if you can remember where the setter is, where your L1 is, and your middle, you should be able to figure out the rest. So If you want to, you can just fill on the sheet. Here's your 10-foot line. And say you're going to be in rotation 1. So you're going to have your setter and right back pulled back. Your L1 will be pulled back to, I'm going to go ahead and circle the setter so you guys see where he is. Your L1 is going to be pulled back to pass, which she would be in right here, and she can't go behind the setter. And she won't be able to go to the left of the middle because that's who she's next to. So she'll be pulled back to pass. Your libero will be in for your middle, and your L2 will probably be passing, unless you're going to pass with 2 rotations, but which some coaches choose to do that. Your opposite's going to be pulled off to hit, and your middle is also going to be stacked over, so that way they can run any pattern. Your L1 can come in, and your opposite's normally going to kick out or come in to hit it too. So while we're going through this, I just want to go through some of the sets that you're going to be hitting. And you can write this on the other court that I have drawn at the bottom. So each school is going to be calling it something different, most likely. And at North Texas, we have a specific thing to call each of the sets. So your outside, or your pin players, your outside hitters, and your right sides should normally know how to hit all of these balls. And your 4 ball is going to be a high loopy ball to the outside. It's a 4. If you guys want to write this down on your sheet, you can. A hut would be a quicker ball to the pin. A 3 is going to be a locked ball, but it's inside of the 4, but it's also a high ball. A 2 is even further inside of that 4 and 3. And then your 5 is going to be backwards, a high back set. Those are your higher loopier sets, but aside from the hut, which goes quick to the pin. And your quick ball to the back is going to be called a go. The middles run a lot quicker offense, and for us, for North Texas, we run a really quick offense, and we want to have it be middle dominant, so that way when teams are scouting us and they see a lot of the balls going to the pin, they won't be expecting quick offense from the middle. So the middles, a lot of time, if your setter's set up here, they're going to be running 1s, which is quick right on the net, a B, which is going to be right in the middle of where a 3 and a 2 would be, but shot to the shot there. A C is going to be a back quick, a loop, which is going to just be a push down, or a slide, which is just going to be quick off 1 foot behind. So that's normally the patterns you run, and you can run different patterns with different hitters. With your setter's normally going to run the court. So as you can see, this should match up with your chart right there, and it's going to have all your positions filled in, and just remember wherever the setter is, that's what rotation you're in. So normally you're going to start in 1, so that's where the setter is. Next up, I'm going to show you an interview that I had whenever I sat down with the coach, Ken Merzak, and he's the head coach of North Texas here. He came to us from Kansas, where he was the assistant, and he also has coached on different college teams, and he played internationally, so he's had a lot of high-level volleyball experience, and so we're going to show you that clip as well.